8 years ago it was now, we were approached by Doug Doers and Dennis Webb about investing in Deltalk. And my first reaction was kind of negative because this has been going on for so long. But the more we looked into it, it was a great concept. And Doug, and the initial investor was J.P. Brooks and his wife, and they put a significant amount of money. He's an American Airlines pilot. But they were always underfunded, and they were always scrambling. But it was a great concept. At the time, we thought it was about an 18-month, 2-year project that we could purchase a supercharger, we could purchase a turbocharger, we could purchase a high-pressure fuel pump, and all these things. The reality is that we've had to redesign everything to make an engine that's light, very robust, and small in size, and will last for a long time. The basic technology, the two-stroke technology, is great because it's simple. I mean, it's not that many parts. It doesn't rely on spark plugs or ignition from that type. It's combustion ignition, and it's very simple. And I like simple things. We were told at the time that this is impossible to do. All right, that it's impossible to make an engine of this size, of this horsepower, of this robustness, and I like challenges. We made a significant impact in the lighting industry by doing things that other companies wouldn't do, and we greatly accelerated the adoption of LED lighting because of the passion we had toward it and the people we had put together to do it. I decided it would be nice to make the same change, step function change in the aviation industry. I'm a pilot. I've got over 8,000 hours, mostly since 2000, mostly in Falcon jets. But I love general aviation, and really the change is needed. The 100 low lead needs to go away. The government's been trying to do that for years. In a lot of areas it's being done now. There really hasn't been a proper alternative fuel. There still really isn't today that's acceptable. But beyond that, I think from an environmental standpoint, this engine provides the opportunity to use a number of fuels, maybe even hydrogen, because of the simplicity of the engine and really what it can do from a robustness standpoint. We talk about P's, and I have about 10 P's now, but the first is people, and I think the team of people we've been able to put together is unbelievable, both inside and outside. A lot of engineers and technicians to PhDs, and it's not simple. To make something simple is difficult, and I think that's what we've accomplished with this. I'm proud of the team of what they've done. And it's a great engine. I think the application of the engine goes way beyond where we ever thought it would be, just because of what it can do and the fuels that it can use. So with the people, the people need a purpose, and I think that we have a lot of pilots in the organization, and they see their part in this of helping change an industry that needs to be changed. The existing engine's been out there since the 50s, some say the 40s, but that's of the last century. And not much has changed to that. Some tweaks to it, but it's basically the same engine. And the way technology has changed, we really needed to bring that to the aviation industry as well as others. So and I think that, speaking of the people, the pride that they have in the organization, we've got great facilities. I think the pride of working with the people that they work with, I think is very important as well, and what they're trying to accomplish and what they are accomplishing. We have received certification, but that's not good enough for us. We're actually improving on that because we know that we can make a better engine even than what is needed for certification, because it's going to last longer, it's going to be lower maintenance. And we're in the process of doing that before we begin production. And we're in the process right now. And I'm looking forward to flying. We have a twin velocity that I'm looking forward to flying in this coming months that is going to be a great airplane. It's a great airplane, I think, to demonstrate this technology we have, and I'm looking forward to flying it around North America, around South America, around the world in this coming year, and really to demonstrate what we have here. I think it really is a great demonstrator of the technology, and not only the efficiency of it and the capabilities, but also the robustness of it and how little maintenance is needed to accomplish this. Plus, it's a lot of fun. I love flying, and I'm really looking forward to that, to be doing that. We haven't done much for the sales and marketing to this point, because a lot of the companies in the industry spend too much on marketing and not enough on engineering, and we've really determined until we really had certification, had it done, we weren't going to waste money on marketing, because nobody really believes you until that point. I had bought a position on a Sino-Swearingen SJ-30, just to speak of one, that was to be a great airplane, but they spent too much on marketing, and plus some other mistakes they made, and that never happened. Adams is another example of getting distracted and not spending enough on engineering. Engineering, getting it right, the product right to begin with, that's another P, it's product. And it's got to be perfect. It's got to be a great, great product. We wouldn't sell a product unless it was going to be perfect. So so we are now beginning the marketing approach. The interest is unbelievable. I mean, it's coming from all over now that they know that this is real. There's a number of people that have come and gone, even in the engine space, that have spent much more than we have. We've spent over 100 million so far, and some people have spent more than twice that and not gotten there. So it's not easy, but it really creates a great barrier to entry too, because it's not easy. And I think that offers the opportunity for the future for this company and for the growth of this company as we build our team. The next phase is we'll finish this, what I mentioned about the improvements we know that can be made. We don't want a bunch of different things out in the market. We want one engine out in the market. But we are doing the 6-cylinder next. When we bought in 8 years ago, they were working on a 4 and an 8-cylinder. We killed the 8-cylinder right away. So let's do one engine, do it right, and then we will expand it as we can. So the 6-cylinder will be coming shortly thereafter. Not a big project for us. We put 2 more cylinders in. You know, we make some other changes to it. We've already got the conceptual designs done. It's a great package in the 300 350 horsepower range, and compared to the alternative existing engines, it's lighter, smaller, and offers better payload capabilities for that class as well. And then we may go larger. But first, let's get these done. We'll get the 4-cylinder out, and then with the 6-cylinder. And that gives us up through the 350, which I think really gets a big part of the market. But yes, it can be expanded. We might get back to the original 8-cylinder, which would give us 500 horsepower. But that will be after we finish the 6. The experimental, you might be mentioning that because there's a great volume there. Plus, you don't need an STC, FAA certification for it, for a certified airplane. We are going to be doing certifications for like on Piper, the PA 28, 44, whatever, as well as for the Cessna 172, 182, 206. We even have a 337 here that we're trying to determine if we just use that for testing or if we use it for, if we do get an STC. And then we have an SR20 that is flying right now. We're getting quite a few hours on. And we may do certification on that as well. So the STCs take a little bit of time, but we're basically going to have one package that we're going to apply to all these different platforms. And it's not going to be different one to the other. They're all going to look the same. You can maintain them the same, and it'll make certification easier because we're really going with one. And we're really not looking at selling engines. We're looking at selling a propulsion package, firewall forward, so that it's all done right, it's all done the same. and we can't afford to have other people making mistakes in the application. And a lot of engineering goes into not just the engine, but how it applies to an airframe, and we want that done right. So we're also doing an RV shortly, which does not need certification, but it'll be the same platform there as all of the other. The Cirrus, the Cirrus, the Cessna, the Piper are the primary ones on the certification side, and there may be others, but we have to do them properly. One other thing I'd like to mention, as we go through into production, I think one of the things we're really fortunate is the time we live in, the technology available, in that the MES system, the manufacturing engineering system that's in place, really doesn't let you put the engine together wrong, okay? I mean, everything is documented, the torques, the products. It doesn't let you go to the next step until the prior step is done properly. It's all digitized. There is really no paper involved. And I believe that the quality we can produce, because we're starting this in a time when the technology exists, is going to produce a far better engine than we could have done 10 or 20 years ago. And I think it puts us in a great position from that standpoint.